Hello there, and happy birthday from John, or to John. Happy birthday to John, although he's not here to celebrate it with us. This would have been the day that John turned 73 years old. And so today's episode is a little bit more about him and a little bit less about teaching. We have a very special episode lined up. Two of John's dearest friends, Harold and Pat Stevens, agreed to do a Zoom interview for the channel, and I appreciate them so much for agreeing to do so. It wasn't something that they had planned to do. They just did it out of the goodness of their heart and to help me on this long tunnel I'm taking through my grief over my brother. And so it's very kind of them. And one of the things that I think is important to know about John is he started teaching, by my recollection, he started teaching in 1974, the 74-75 school year. And he used to tell about how he had, like, I don't know, 27 cents in his bank account when Santa Rosa High School called him and offered him a job. And he was such a lover of that school. He adored that school. He adored that community. And it is a beautiful little community. It is not like anywhere else. You know, when you start thinking about small communities, they are so themselves, so unlike other places, yet very similar to other little towns. It's like little families. So I hope you enjoy the stories that we tell about John today, and I hope you enjoy the interview. I'm so glad you were willing to tune in, at least for part of it, and to acknowledge my dear brother and me, and help us celebrate the job that we both loved and love so much. So here they are, without further ado, Pat and Harold Stevens.
It keeps saying leave meeting. There, now we got it.
Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to the channel.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, this is Pat Stevens.
Yes, and
her husband, who is off camera.
And
there he
her
is.
husband. There he is. Can you see him?
Yes, I can see him, and they'll see him too. So I thank you so much for being willing to join me and to visit with me, because I've heard of you guys for years and years and years, and we've never actually met.
I know. That's true. We're trying to get rid of our dog too. Go ahead.
So, just to start with, how did you meet John?
Well, now this is where Hal should take over because he actually came to Santa Rosa High School before I did.
Oh, really?
And I don't know when I think John was there at the time, or else they both started the same time.
Very similar.
Sure. We need to have you here for the answer to this. When did you first meet John? Here, I got her. Come on, baby. Here, I got a treat for you. Come here.
I met John in Santa Rosa, New Mexico, and that would be about 1976.
Wow.
So many a year ago, yes.
Right. And he was teaching history. Were you teaching history as well, or?
I was teaching English at Santa Rosa High School. He was teaching at the mid school.
Oh, okay.
In Santa Rosa. But the teachers were a small group of people, so we all intermingled.
Right.
And we, for example, we would all get together when Roots was showing at the time.
Oh,
and it was a big cultural event, so people would all gather together in their houses
Right.
And John was one of the people who was watching Roots at the time.
So
What year did you?
I taught English as well.
Okay.
I
And
taught I taught English in Deming and at Goddard here in Roswell and at the military school. So
well, was he always teaching history or English too?
no, I think
He was teaching history.
Okay,
Yeah.
history. And so he came in, yeah. Now we got it.
And Pat, what did you teach?
I came in at the beginning of, I 1973, 74, 75. And what happened was a friend of mine, I was going to UNM to get my master's. And she said, aren't you worried that you don't have a job for this fall? And I go, I hadn't thought about it. And that was like a month away. So Santa Rosa called me as soon as they got my resume. And I said, sure, I'll take it. And that was it. It's so funny because I wanted to stay in Albuquerque and I kept putting in all these resumes and nobody would call me back. So finally I said, yeah, I want Santa Rosa. And the response I got about a month later is, why didn't you wait for us to call? I go, I gotta eat. I gotta have money, so that happened. Yeah.
So you guys,
but I really, what?
You guys
Go
were
ahead.
at the school with John for a lot of the time that he was there, right? Is that correct? Or
We left in '78, so
really?
We weren't with John most of the time. Yeah.
But he'd come over all the time, especially when we started having babies.
Well, we were in Albuquerque,
Yeah.
so in Santa Rosa, we didn't think anything about getting in the car and driving 2 hours to Albuquerque. That was we'd do that twice a day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know he did that nearly every weekend. He headed to Albuquerque nearly every weekend. Yeah.
I loved it. He was always there. I get to thinking now, where did he spend the night?
Well, a lot of times he wouldn't spend the night. He'd just drop by and on his way to Santa Rosa or back.
Or back.
Right.
Huh.
Well, he had a lot of folks that he visited in Albuquerque. I don't know all of it. He was very tight-lipped with family about his social life.
Yes. He was like that with a lot of us too. We'd ask him a question and he'd go on to something else and get us off of it.
So, but you guys have both had you're both retired now, is that right?
Yes.
And so you've been teaching, you taught a long time as well. I taught 33 years. John taught close to 50, right? He taught over 50.
Yeah. And what did you teach? How long did you teach?
30 something, yeah.
30 something year. And I'm either 49 or 50 because I was at the community college, and a lot of times I started out high school. I ended up doing elementary. I don't know why they thought I could do that. And then I went back to secondary, and then I went on to the high school after the high school, and then on to the community college. And community college after all that was wonderful.
Yeah, yes. Because it's not 5 days a week. It's not 5 days a week.
No. And you didn't have boys, ninth grade boys, throwing pencils at the top of your, classroom. That was fun. Yeah.
So one of the things that I do on the channel is visit with teachers about what advice they would give to younger teachers coming along. um, what things they discovered as teachers that helped them in their business.
Well, I think one of the things is find who your allies are, because there's always a teacher. You never have time to meet everybody, but some of them are on exactly the same track you are, and they'll help you. They want to help you. We just think, oh, she's not asking for questions. No, the reason she's not asking for questions is she's scared.
Yeah.
She won't tell me. Yeah. And that's the allies keep you going. They really do, I think. What's your idea? Well, you had a modular system. They had a whole huge modular system with all their tables in there. So they could all go in at any time and somebody's there.
Oh, I
It
see.
was really a good deal. But would you say that helped you?
I think I was thinking about this,
I got you all.
and the idea of a lot of times we teach things. What we think we're teaching, we're not teaching.
Yeah.
The students are are learning, but it's not necessarily what we intend, what we think our program is aimed at doing. For example, I taught Bible studies at the public high school, and I tried to make it as non-religious as possible. It was the Bible as literature and
Right.
history instead of as religion. And at the end of one course, I got a letter from a mother, and she thanked me for bringing her child to the Lord. That that was not what I was trying to, and I had to tell her if uh, uh, please don't say that I brought your child to the.
So yeah, well, and I've heard my students, they'll later tell me, come back a year, I'll just never forget the way you used to. I go, really? Really? That's what you remember? I don't, they pick up different things. They pick up everything, gestures. I had a student who would copy me and in front of the class give my gestures and things. I'm going, thanks a lot. Um, yeah, so that's the good part sometimes, not yours, but mine.
Well,
It
I,
kind of,
I had a similar thing. I had at the end of the year, I would often ask the kids what worked for them, what they learned, what I should keep in the course and what I should get rid of. And one of the questions I asked my foreign students, I said, which vocabulary words were new for you? Which were new vocabulary words for you? And I assumed they would go to something on my vocabulary list because, as an English teacher, you teach vocabulary. And they said the two main words that they learned in my class were weirdo and gorgeous because I would tease kids and call them weirdos. And I called them gorgeous all the time. I called them gorgeous creatures. And they they didn't know gorgeous. They had to look it up.
yeah.
They had never heard of gorgeous before.
No, they didn't know
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Uh, I was teaching Shakespearean vocabulary to a class once, and one of the words was slattern, Slatter, which is a woman of bad repute. And so I would say the word and we'd look over the words and try to figure out what definition would fit and all of that. Well, it's one of our counselors came into the open the door just as I said the word slattern. And she shut the door and left. Years later at a faculty reunion, she said, I was always hurt that you called me slattern when I opened the door. And I had to, I told her I would not do that.
Never.
That's not my routine. Yeah.
So you're not only teaching the students, you're also teaching the other faculty and the other people you're meeting.
Right. Well, and I know. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I know John was your best man, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How did that happen? How did John become a best man?
Well, he was.
He said yes. No.
Well, he helped. He helped me during the romance with. Yeah, asking for dates and things like that sort of stuff. So yeah, he deserved to be best man. Sure.
He really was. It was wonderful that way.
Yeah, he'd be the only person who knew Pat and who knew me.
And then when they got married, remember Hal was his.
Right.
Except
right.
He couldn't hear. Remember, he was in between cochlear implants and nothing, so he was out. Yeah. It's a miracle. Yeah.
Well, we were at that wedding, but I don't remember hardly anything of it. And I'm not
sure. John's wedding?
At John's wedding, yeah. And I think it's because I had just come back from Italy. I had been in Italy all summer. I think I was just punchy for the wedding because I was just exhausted. We had landed in Albuquerque, and I got Mother, and we drove to Lake Tahoe. And and it all took place.
Well, that's too bad. That's been the most wondrous wedding I ever went to.
When they sang.
Do you remember the choir getting up and singing?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember the people out on Lake Tahoe who stopped? I mean, they actually turned off their engines just to hear it all. We go, oh my gosh.
I remember John saying he thought people passing by were thinking, how did that old guy get that beautiful woman?
I don't know. It was a good one. It was very good.
His hair was so white by then, he like Mother grayed early, so he had, the white mane.
Yeah. No, he was good. Any other questions you have for us?
Well, let me see. I don't know quite what to ask.
Well, about John too. I think the reason he did so well at Santa Rosa is he was involved in other things. He, did what do you call it? The calling of the basketball games and football games. Yeah. Everything. So we all went to prom together, all of us. And that was with Olin and Georgia and somebody else, but we were all there. 5 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he was the voice of the Lions there in Santa Rosa, He was a broadcaster, really.
Yeah.
And
I would never have thought he'd do that. I was so amazed. Yeah.
Oh, John loved loved to show off. He was meant for the spotlight. But yeah, he liked to call those games, and he was very clued in to what the kids wanted to hear. They liked it when he would nickname them. He liked their nick
Yeah,
they liked his nicknames for them.
right,
They,
right.
you know, they carried those as kind of a symbol of pride. And I think on some level, um, he really felt um, like he was a part of that community. He felt plugged into that community. And the weekends in Albuquerque kept him from feeling smothered by it because it was such a small community. I mean,
Sure.
Santa Rosa, even now, is pretty small.
Well, and it included then Anton Chico
Yep.
and the other little town,
PDL.
Yeah.
PDL.
Yep.
And so it wasn't just one community. You really had to, yeah, know
Yeah.
everything.
And
But
he, he was the kids. He was kind of a fixture. They knew his truck. They knew in a town that small, you don't really have a private existence.
no,
You know?
we know we all moved to a second apartment. John had an apartment. Wasn't John with the cowboy gyms?
He was.
Yes. And so the kids all knew where we were. And so the sheriff's kid, I think, threw a brick at his Hal's car. So, and him, he goes, I know exactly who did it. I can see him, he's not, yeah.
Yep. Heck, that town was so small. When you'd go and visit, the dogs would not get up out of the road. You would drive around the dogs because they were no dog was required to be in a yard. They could run free, and everybody knew who everybody's dog was.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Um, and I think in the end, John liked that, but by going to Albuquerque on the weekends, he was able to keep his distance, uh, and I think that helped him quite a bit. I don't know. I never. He was 10 years older than I am, and
Okay.
and so I was an irritation to him for a big part of his youth.
Yes.
Like
Little sisters always are.
one time, my mom and dad came home, and he had been babysitting me and a girl named Kyla. Kyla was my best friend, and he was supposed to babysit us. Well, I guess we were about 5, which would put him at 15. And my mom came in, and Kyla, her folks were going to come later on and pick her up. And Kyla and I were whispering. We whispered to each other, and then when Mother asked us a question, we would whisper to her. And, and Mother said, "Why are you whispering?" And we said, "We're not speaking to John." And Mother said, "Why?" He said he doesn't like Kyla.
Oh no.
So because he told Kyla he didn't like her, we were giving him the silent treatment, which is what he wanted.
He was manipulating all of it. Yeah. When he came with our kids when they were like really young, 3 and 4, and he'd say, "You rotten kids." Well, my daughter turned it into Rotten John. So every time he came up, "It's Rotten John." She just scream it as loudly as she could. So yeah, he was a good sport about it. Yeah.
He's the only good sport in my family, really.
Oh, really?
Oh, we're terrible. We're terrible. My oldest brother and I are not allowed to play games with other people.
Oh, Dean and you, yeah.
Yeah, we're bad sports. The worst.
Monopoly's not a pretty picture.
No game. No game. We were not, no. It had to be stopped because we were such bad sports. John could play with anybody, any game. He was happy to.
Yeah.
And he was happy to party. He loved to party. There was not a party he couldn't enjoy.
We'd do charades. The group in Santa Rosa that got together would get together and play charades. And I remember John got up once and went like waved his arm. And we were all laughing ourselves to death, trying to figure out what the heck that would be. And we were saying snake in the sky and all sorts of. And finally, the time was up, and we didn't get anywhere with that clue. He didn't do any other clues. That's the only one he did. Not first word, not sounds like anything. He just did that. And it was pilgrims is what he wanted. That
He said they came
somehow or other we were supposed to figure out that meant
pilgrims.
Sure.
Yeah, I did.
But we were all so confused. Really? That's what you thought we could do? Yeah.
Also in Santa Rosa, we read the book The Monkey Wrench Gang, which is a book about some environmental terrorists, activists, I guess. And one of the things they did is they cut down highway billboard signs. So after we read that, we bought some saws, some hand saws. And late one night, we drove out about 10 or 15 miles on the interstate highway to a establishment that had billboard after billboard after billboard out there, and we sawed down one of the signs out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Since then, they have replaced those signs with steel, steel and concrete beams. So we haven't repeated our environmental stand out there.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys get to go out to his memorial when they had it in California? Did you get to go?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
We had been there about 2 weeks before he passed away.
Oh, oh, good.
Yeah, because we wanted, we heard that he told me, he says, this is it. Yeah. And so we came out and visited him, and our daughter came up from Los Angeles. So
and he was in pretty good shape when we saw him.
Yeah.
Except he had fallen and sprained his hand.
Right.
And that was the thing that bothered him the most was his sprained
Wasn't
hand.
It his thumb?
Yeah.
It was his thumb. Yeah. Yeah.
But otherwise, he took us out walking.
Yeah.
And talked, and
we thought he's doing really well.
Right.
And yeah.
Well, Mother and I were torn about going. Mother is very frail now. She's 96 going on.
Where is she?
She's in another room here at the house.
She's over there.
Oh, okay.
She's over that way.
And where are you? You're in
your house.
We're in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is my house. And John and Carolyn, well, John first. John was one of the first people I ever served Thanksgiving meal to.
Ooh.
The first time I hosted Thanksgiving, my two guests were my mother and my brother John. And it took me all day to make a turkey, some green beans, and a pie.
That's plenty. That's
I was just
plenty.
so sad when I put it on the table because it looked so little. And he was such a good sport about it. He was so nice about it. But eventually I figured out how to do it, and we'd have family reunions here every Thanksgiving. And he and Carolyn came to nearly all of them. They missed very few of them. Um, but
Well, and
we were really torn about maybe going to California, but taking mother out there would be
yeah,
almost
too
too
much.
hard to do because the drive is so long,
Yeah,
and she cannot function without a walker. And
yeah.
the airport here doesn't offer a way to get someone that frail into the airplane that I know of. You have to go across the tarmac and climb. But
Oh, uh-huh.
yeah. And so we went back and forth about going, but we didn't get to go. So we ended up going to my aunt's funeral, which ended up being on the same day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My
Well,
my
it was the best whatever it was. What was it?
Celebration of life.
Celebration of life. It was
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah, yeah.
I said, I think we Methodists have been doing it the wrong way.
Well, I think you have to remember that's definitely the influence of Carolyn and her family.
Yes,
They
I know.
are LA. They are
Yes,
California. So they know
yes,
how to have a good
yes.
time. Yeah.
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 I'll tell you, you wouldn't believe the number of students who showed up for his celebration. And they were all there because they just, they came all the way up because they loved him.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to me. Yeah.
Well, and
So,
and I loved him too. I mean, after he forgave me for being an irritating little sister, um, we got to be very, very good friends. So,
well,
and
talk very proudly of you too.
oh, that's nice to hear.
He did.
He really did. He said nice things about you and talked about how well you were doing and teaching, all that. Yeah.
Well,
So,
we did share that. My family has a lot of teachers in it, and John and I could talk teaching all day long, you know, all day long. Uh, and,
yeah.
and so that's part of why I wanted to do this channel, and it's not big. I don't think you should expect a lot of attention. I
We're
only,
good. We're good.
I only have 15 subscribers. But it's been a way for me to confront him going
Yes.
that's doing something. I'm trying to do something positive with it, um, rather than just sitting around and crying, which is not very
How,
Yes.
positive.
how about have you contacted Santa Rosa newspaper?
I did.
To,
I contacted Santa Rosa right after he passed, and they
uh-huh.
his
Okay.
obituary. Um,
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yes, they did. Yes. And I would like to do something in Santa Rosa this year for sure, because the plan is to do this channel for a year. Um,
Uh-huh.
and that way I'll have 312 episodes, and every week I have episodes about teaching and that work. And that way um, I'm I'm sort of holding up the things that he worked for and what I'm working for.
Right.
But on that note, I think we need to say goodbye because we've run out of time. Was this
All right.
was it painful? Did it hurt?
No, no, it was not. And
Just the process of connecting up.
yeah, just the computer. Yeah.
Just that.